All right, I want to give an update for what I've been doing for a little bit. Let's start with the first thing first, which is my mini map, kind of my map, which is coming along pretty good. I left it at a pretty good place. This map, the menu map. So we've got zoom and we've got panning. But I do want to see if I can add labels for places. um, these would exist in like a physical object in the real world, but they wouldn't be visible to us, but they would only be visible to uh this like camera system because this mini map is actually just a camera in the sky, right? So there's somewhere out there is the camera, and like when we zoom in and out, the camera moves up and down, and when we do this move around, the camera moves around too. So I want to add some labels. They would just be like floating somewhere, and they would be invisible to all players, but they would be visible only to that camera. So I gotta figure that out. I want to be able to add like place markers. So like say you place a marker on this building, right? I want to be able to place a marker there, and then we would see like the marker like on like it would just show up on our screen, right? I think that would be cool. Because a lot of other games they have a mini map or they have a compass on the on the top bar, and I don't really like that. I think it's distracting and it's like too much uh noise, right? Oh yeah, and when I was playing, so you didn't see the 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 clouds and stuff moving, but the clouds do move. So we have an animated cloud system right now, as you can see. This uses like a couple of just random C++ scripts I found online that stacks Gaussian blurs and blur types together uh and applies it to the actual default volumetric cloud system. So if you like instead of just dropping in a volumetric cloud, which is just like a big sphere of cloud, it like trims it into like these random shapes and has it placed around, and they are animated and they move and all that, which I think is cool. But I still feel like it's too static, and so like I want some days for there to be no clouds at all, right? Like zero clouds, and then I want sometimes there's gonna be like these huge like cumulonimbus clouds, which I think would be cool. But I've never actually seen a video game that uh has clouds like this spawn randomly. Like like throughout the game world, throughout the persistent world. I've never seen a game do that. I don't know, maybe I've seen like stuff like that, like that weather spawn in video games, but they've always been like attached to an event or a trigger and never like just part of a persistent world. So maybe we'll have to save those weather systems. It would be easier to implement those like crazy weather events like tornadoes and stuff to like an in-game event or quest, and then that the instead of like trying to make this out of a ton of different like volumetric systems and making like C plus scripts for that or C sharp scripts from that, you would just make a physical object, and like you would treat this like an actual physical object. Yeah, because there's a lot more control you have over it, especially with texturing and sculpting and stuff like that. So I have to brainstorm how to do that, but I still want to, that's besides the point. I still want to have like some days with no clouds at all, and whatnot. Um, and speaking of volumetrics, this brings me to my next point, which is actually rain, right? So the rain system, and all effects actually like explosions, um, like muzzle shots, right? Like muzzle blast, uh, water droplets, all these systems, like these like particle animations use. So here's like the particle animation for uh rain. Obviously when there is rain, you're gonna have like complete fog, dense fog covering the whole screen, and like the sky won't be like you won't be able to see the sky. So this is just like an example of the particles of how the particles work, right? So this uses the Niagara system, which is really bizarre because it's like these are all such simple um, default systems, right? They're just like simple vectors that you like twist and like manipulate to make them look like what you want them to look like. So it's like a lot of there's a lot of magic with the Niagara system. Um, and I don't know how I feel. I don't really know how I feel about it. But I got a rain animation, rain particle effect to start working. But this is like the defaults, and then out of these like default systems, right? People make some insanely bizarre uh like dust effects and like where every single particle of dust uh moves out of the way when you take a footstep and stuff like it gets really in depth with this, and a lot of it is like physically like world physically based too, so it can get really complicated really quickly. So but it's something that I've never really touched before now. I mean, like, I've done like random animations, right? But like not through the Niagara system. They've always just been like skeletal animations, right? So this is pretty interesting and it's pretty new to me. So I want to play with that a bit more, especially if we're gonna add like crazy weather. What else? I didn't really go into the day-night cycle, right? So, well, we have this, but we also have right now it's set so like we could have right now it's 48 minutes per 24-hour in game, right? It's like one day night cycle is 48 minutes, so we could change that to whatever we want it to be, like higher, lower, or whatever. I'd say like let's keep it at 30 for right now, and then the shadow maps, sorry, the directional lighting, so like how the shadows fall in the world, the sky sphere, the sun and the moon, and some of the emissive like the light, it's all linked together, so they all work together. So like if if I like change the time of day, right? So we have like midday, the lighting happens, and then it takes a second or two to update the lighting, but then here's nighttime. You see, so stuff that has emissive, which is basically only like the light up billboards, those will stay lit. Uh, so that'll be like, so this is gonna be how like nighttime is. Oh yeah, wait, no, that's not right. We also have, there's supposed to be some ambient light too. I forgot how I did that. I think it was sky atmosphere, but I thought it was something. Anyways, well, it's not supposed to be completely dark. You're supposed to still be able to see, but there is an emissive light here, like a ambient emissive light, coming from the atmosphere that I have not. I think it's this. Wait, I think this is it. And then I turn it to like 0.05. Maybe this is it. Okay, I kind of forgot. I thought I set it up. Uh, yeah, okay. This is how, yeah, this is it. Okay. So it's not like completely dark. Yeah, so this is what nighttime, and then it could be even darker than this though. So it's like if you set it to 0.01, right? So this is what it's like supposed to look like. Okay. Yeah, now I remember. And then if you look up in the sky, we have like the Milky Way, right? The Milky Way shows up, and moves. Ooh, that's not what I want. And moves as the sun moves too. So, anyways, that's where I'm at right now. Gonna like keep playing around with the weather systems. Um, I really want to have like weather like this though. Like that would be really cool. It's just just some interesting like stuff, and adds scenery, and makes the world more alive. It's like a post-apocalyptic game. I want like deep sandstorms and stuff like that. Speaking of sandstorms, I was looking into sandstorms like last year, and it was super complicated how to get stuff working. There was an effect system like preset that I was trying to get to work today, but it's using Unreal Engine 5.7 instead of 5.6, which is what I'm using right now. So it's not compatible, which is a huge bummer because there's so many good like Niagara particle system presets, but as you can see, they're all empty because it's not compatible with Unreal Engine 5.6. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to, or like find another. I haven't found another like preset, like example presets, uh like batch collection, but I just need to keep looking. I know Niagara. was only introduced in like Unreal Engine 5.5, I think. So it's still a very new system. But it is unfortunate that I couldn't get this to work because the explosions in this look really good, much better than what I have right now. But I can't get it to work because it's it's for a newer version of Unreal Engine. But if I could figure out how it was done in here, apparently I can just do it myself using my current version, and it'll look exactly the same because they didn't update it that much. They only updated like how the file system works. But yeah, that's my update for now. And I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working on that mini map. Actually, small steps. But yeah, that's it.